Well, it's now time to look at the front pages of the Nigerian newspapers, starting with The Nation here. It says, protest, DSS arrests 7 Europeans. Stir clear, federal government tells foreign nations, killer soldier held. Yobe farmers take delivery of Governor Buni's Agric Empowerment Implement input. And of course, CBN injects $876 million into forex markets via Dutch auction. Now fund records high student loan request in 24 hours. Polytechnic COEs get governing councils. And of course, we have this and many more in the Nation newspaper. Let's look at the Punch newspaper here. Hunger protest loses steam as DSS grills 7 foreigners. Police crack down, halts protest. US-UK demand dialogue. Northern governors relax curfew. Sanusi blames Kano looting on intelligence failure. Tension rises as soldiers shoot boy in Kaduna. Nigeria urges ECOWAS defense chiefs to curb coup. EFCC quizzes Ogun officials over government funds. Power generation hits 3-year high of 5,105 megawatts. Olympics, gallant D Tigers bow out in quarterfinals. Crude crisis. National Assembly to probe NNPC Dangote refinery. CBN dumps 12-month forex policy with $876 million auction. Fuel queues may linger till next week, says marketers. Daily News Hub says here, end bad governance. DSS arrests, grills 7 Polish nationals. As Foreign Affairs Minister meets secret police, diplomatic corps. We arrested Polish nationals over display of foreign flags in Northwest, says DSS. Let's endure current pains. Temporary. Tinubu begs Nigerians. Military contradicts IGP. Admits use of live ammunition on protesters. Says we've arrested soldier who gunned down teenage protester. Coup no longer acceptable, says Al Mustafa. This and many more in the Daily News Hub newspaper. Moving now to the Salient Times. It says here, look beyond present pains, have faith in our ability to deliver. Again, Tinubu begs Nigerians, assures of better tomorrow, we shall fulfill all our promises. Allegations of bribed Speaker Abbas with $1.7 million childish, Honorable Ikenga Imo Ugochinyere says. Courts count NNPC out of problems bedeviling petroleum sector, as according to Melekari, telling the Senate panel. NYSC declares Akwa Ibom coordinator and driver missing. Police nab 17 suspects over pipeline vandalism, illegal bunkering. IGP task force clamps down on oil thieves conveying refined products to Cameroon. DSS grills 7 arrested Polish nationals over protest in Kano. First News says, hardship, trust my government, brighter future awaits. Tinubu begs Nigerians, says look beyond present temporary pains, aim at larger picture. Hashtag end bad governance, protesters declare 3-day mourning period. Dr. Bala Mohammed slams Tinubu's speech as empty, asks federal government to stop making excuses. Finance Minister, Nigeria spends $600 million monthly on fuel imports. New Telegraph is saying hardship protest, the worst now over. There's federal government. ECOWAS defense chiefs meet to prevent coup, stabilize democracy, as Badaro seeks collaboration against terrorism. Others. But not part of economic sabotage, NNPC Limited, NMDPRA others tell Senate. Forex RDAS douses tension as CBN sells $876.26 million at 1,495 naira per dollar. Well, we'll move to the Blueprint newspaper. It says, count us out of economic sabotage. NNPCL, NMDPRA, others tell Senate. 60% of our crude oil from NNPCL, says Dangote refinery. This turbulence will soon be over. Tinubu begs Nigerians again. Federal government warns against foreign interference. Reforms necessary to correct past missteps, says US-UK address. Olympics. Amoson into women's 100-meter hurdle semifinals. Coup no longer fashionable globally, says Al Mustafa. NYC declares Akwa Ibom coordinator driver missing. And finally, from my end here, at the Daily Times, it says, Tinubu's reforms aims at addressing past mistakes, says Information Minister. Says President determined to implement reforms that would drive sustainable growth, improve quality of life for all citizens. Oil industry probe, we are not saboteurs, NNPCL, NMDPRA, others tell Senate. We got 60% of our crude supply from NNPC, says Dangote Refinery. And federal government cautions against foreign interference and protest. Olamide.
I begin here with the Leadership newspaper. The big story here says the federal government warns against foreign interference. The writer says the federal government also raises the alarm over inflow of illicit weapons. Emir Sanusi warns youth against vandalism. Northern groups seek amnesty for arrested protesters. Kaduna 24-hour curfew still in force. Torture relaxes curfew on Katagum. West African defense chiefs insist on a civilian rule. Meanwhile, the Senate queries $1.5 billion spent on Port Harcourt refinery. Another story here says Ugochiri denies bribing Speaker to chair House committee. Bureaucracy behind delay in our 50% salary slash. That's according to the reps. And few queues persist in major cities across Nigeria. The major stories on the front page of the Leadership. To the Daily Independent, still on the protest, federal government rejects foreign interference, launches probe into violence, says President Tinubu did not take office to make life difficult for Nigerians. And on the top corner, prevailing hardship temporary, I am addressing challenges, says President Tinubu. Coup threat must be destroyed, CDS charges ECOWAS counterparts. On the protest, burning politicians' houses could lead to anarchy. NNPP ones insist government took people for granted. Army arrest a soldier for killing protester in Kaduna. Another story here says drama as two lawyers appear in court seeking Rivers expenditure shut down. That's on page 29 of Daily Independent. And a CDC arrest 12 suspects for vandalizing infrastructure in the FCT. I move to this Nigeria. Oil industry bleeding. NNPC's carry admits. Rather, there says Senate probes $1.5 billion spent on Port Harcourt refinery turnaround maintenance. Tinubu to Nigerians, look beyond present temporary pains, have faith in our ability to deliver. Poverty will worsen if petrol subsidy returns. Withdraw Lagos parking fees, it is illegal, says Femi Falana. And a picture story here shows the meeting yesterday. That's the 42nd ordinary meeting of the ECOWAS Committee of Chiefs of Defense in Abuja, with the Chairman House of Representatives Committee on Defense, Babajimi Benson, Minister of Interior Olubumi Tunjiojo, Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Toga, ECOWAS Commissioner Political Affairs, Peace and Security, and many others. CBN denies probing extortion allegation. Well, these are the major stories on the front page of this Nigeria to Nigerian News Direct. CBN auctions $876.26 million at 1,495 naira per dollar to 26 banks to reduce pressure on naira. Equities market records a first post-protest gain of 97 billion naira. On the protest, the federal government vows to probe sponsors, reject foreign interference as Amnesty International alleges detention of over 1,000 protesters. Again, Tinubu appeals to Nigerians, makes assurance that policies will work. Reps blame administrative procedures for delay in 50% pay quote. We did not starve local refineries of crude oil. That's according to the MD CEO of the NNPC, Mele Kyari. These are the major stories on the front page of Nigerian News Direct. So business day, CBN under Cardoso sells most dollars to strengthen the naira, offloads $876.26 million at 1,495 naira in retail auction. Naira strengthens to 1,596 per dollar. Naira crude sale has a dollar fee headache. IHS settles, renews tower contracts. 5-day internet disruption for straight work from home. The federal government also set guidelines for $500 million domestic bond issuance. So the Platform Times, the big story here says Abiodun faces backlash over 10,000 naira job fee amid Showere's protest. Refund their money, the governor orders. 21 killed in hunger protest across Nigeria, Amnesty International. On local government phone scandal, EFCC grills 5 Ogun officials, granted bail. Still in Ogun, NGO reunites homeless patient with family after 4-year separation. Police arrest pregnant woman, husband, 6 others for illegal oil bunkering. The major stories on the front page of the Platform Times. And finally, on the Sporting Live, emotional advances to 100 meters hurdles. Semis says it is time. Ezekiel crashes. Ophili shifts focus to relay. On the summer transfer, cement trains alone still waiting on a transfer. It will be turns music sensation. Interesting. That's on page 6 of the Sporting Live. Another story here says Man United drop 5 potential midfield targets. Gunners thrash German champions. Chaloba Broja set for Chelsea exit. West Ham willing to sell Inks. The Tigers buyout in style Nigeria 74, the United States 88. Well, these are the major stories on the front page of the Sporting Life. Theophilus.
Well, I hope our audience have gotten a glimpse of the stories making the headlines this morning. Still to come on TVC.